Hi everyone, welcome to Victoria Carter Saves. My name is Victoria Carter, and this is the fourth episode of Character Crash Course. So we're going to be talking about flashbacks today using the Disney Pixar movie Inside Out. Now, I have some notes, so I'm going to be looking down at them. So first of all, what are flashbacks? And this is different than we talked about backgrounds last time. Flashbacks are when you literally are taken out of the present story and put into a past situation. And the important part of that is that it explains secrets, regrets, or motivations. So oftentimes in any kind of movie or book, you will learn someone's deepest regret, they were never able to save that one person, so now their goal is to save everybody. Or, their secret was that they did something really bad and someone got hurt, but they never got caught, and that's their secret, and you learn that through a flashback. Or, you learn a lot of character development, like maybe two characters knew each other prior to the plot starting. And these are all important because they fuel character motivation. And as I've talked about before, character motivation is the key reason why we, as the audience, feel attached to characters. If we can understand their motives, then we're going to feel more attached to what they're doing, even if they are doing something that we don't agree with. So if a character is doing something and they're being very active in the plot, if we can't agree with their if we can't understand their motivations or understand why they're doing the thing they're doing, it's going to be really hard to feel connected to them. So, let me look at this. So first, thing with flashbacks is it changes your perspective on a situation. So, for example, in the movie Inside Out, there are a ton of flashbacks. That movie is almost entirely flashbacks. I mean, I don't know the actual ratio, but it's a lot. And you start off by seeing flashbacks of the main character, who is Riley. And she is a little girl and she's going down a slide, or you see her as a child, being silly or doing silly things. And, part of that is if you haven't seen the movie, it takes place all in this 11-year-old girl named Riley's head. And she's got 5 emotions that kind of dictate her perspective on any situation. So there's joy, sadness, disgust, anger, and fear. And a lot of the memories when you get into the movie are joy. They're all yellow and bright, and Joy is really the one who is trying to take control of the situation and make everything very, very happy. And the problem in the movie comes when Sadness, who isn't allowed to touch anything, isn't allowed to be a part of anything, she touches one of Riley's core memories. And these core memories are what makes up Riley's personality. And it turns the core memory into a very sad blue, literally blue aesthetic memory. And one of these big things that happen in the movie is, and the reason why Riley's feeling this way is because she has moved away from her home to San Francisco. And she lived, I think in Michigan or something, or she lived somewhere where, it's often cold. She played hockey. She had a lot of friends. And she really enjoyed her life there. And now she lives in a smaller place in San Francisco. She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't have any hockey. And she feels very, very much alone. So the story goes where Sadness picks up one of the memories and she sees, oh, that's the memory where Riley lost the big game between their team and the Prairie Dogs. And Riley missed the winning shot and she was really sad. And it shows an image of Riley sitting on a tree by herself, and her parents are next to her, and the whole aesthetic of the glowing orb you're looking through this flashback through is blue. And Joy is really upset by this because she doesn't want to see these sad things. She's like, no, it has to be happy all the time. And that's one of the core themes of the story, and why flashbacks work so well in the movie Inside Out is because one of the themes of the movie is you need to make room for all of your emotions and accept all of your emotions and not just focus on being happy all the time. Later in the movie, and this is a spoiler, I should have said this at the beginning, but it came out in 2015, so it's been a while. But one of the scenes has Joy, and she's stuck in like a pit of memories that are slowly being erased, I guess. They're just really old memories, and Riley doesn't have room in her brain for them anymore. And she's picking up a bunch of different memories one at a time, and she's going through them and like, oh, you know, she loved coloring. Like, she stuck out her tongue when she was coloring. Like, I miss all these happy memories. And then, you know, she reflects back on a recent memory of Riley at her new school. And she's crying, trying to introduce herself to her classmates. And her classmates don't really know what to do for her. So it becomes a really sad core memory. And then she picks up the orb that has the really sad memory of Riley losing the game back in her old house and in her old neighborhood. And she sees it, and she looks at the part where everyone is cheering for Riley. Everyone is picking Riley up and trying to make her happy and trying to be like, everything's okay. And then she rewinds the memory and sees that the reason that everybody came for her and everybody supported her was because Riley was sad. And it was through compassion that Riley was able to find joy in that memory, even though they lost the game. So, the important thing about flashbacks is that it needs to have ramifications to the present story. So, like I said, Inside Out does a really great job of this, especially with the core memories and looking back at different kinds of memories, because it all is relevant to the plot. At the point in the plot where Joy realizes that there might be a place in Riley's mind for sadness is almost at the very end of the movie, where she looks at the memory back to back, the sad memory of losing the game and the happy memory of her team and family supporting her, and it's back to back. And that gives the most emotional impact to the entire story, whereas if we would have seen it back to back at the beginning, it wouldn't have had that same emotional pull, and we wouldn't be able to go through this story like we have. So, another thing about flashbacks is that, and I said this in backgrounds as well, is that it needs to be as concise as possible. And they did a really good job of this in Inside Out because they made each of the memories like maybe 3 to 5 seconds long. And in writing terms, that might be a paragraph or 2 paragraphs. Which I think is really, really good because it forces you to make your point, without trying to dump a bunch of information on us, without trying to, drag us through something that we're not quite sure why it's there. If you make your flashback shorter, as short as you can possibly make it, while also making your point, then it's going to have more impact on the overall story. So that's pretty much all I have to say about flashbacks and the movie Inside Out. If you guys have anything else that you want to say about this or about the movie or anything you feel like I've missed, please write it in the comments below and I will try to respond to that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. I'll be posting new videos 2 to 3 times a week. And just remember that every victory is a victory. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.